A new racing track in the middle of the desert, luck on the driver's side, and a battle within one team on the way to the podium. Hello, this is Grinya, and today we break down the events of the second stage of the Oman International Drift Championship 2025. Let's ride! Are you serious? Is it already the middle of the season so fast? Yes, the OIDC racing season consists of only 3 stages, and that's why OIDC does not forgive mistakes. You must be ready to perform at your maximum potential at every stage if you want to reach the top of the year's podium. I hope you haven't forgotten that this year, for the first time, OIDC is leaving the capital of Oman, Muscat, and holding 2 stages at a new location in Sohar, on a completely new site specially prepared for drifting. Although I think other events will also look great at the Sohar Drift Yard, the uniqueness of this location is that the noise and smoke from the cars will definitely not bother anyone, as the new site is located far from the city, and in wide drone shots it truly looks like a racing oasis in the middle of the desert. The night shots are especially impressive, with the track illuminated and complete darkness surrounding it. There is something magical about such a setting. But in truth, such a location also brings difficulties in hosting races. A small breakdown can leave the entire location without power in an instant. Unfortunately, due to such circumstances, qualifying had to be postponed by almost an hour as the track was left in darkness, but the problem was solved and the second stage proceeded without further electricity issues. Otherwise, OIDC remains true to itself, providing drivers and spectators with a colorful track, fresh asphalt, and the opportunity to showcase professional drifting at its finest. As I predicted in the previous One More Time episode, the simple change of location greatly helped foreign drivers improve their positions. Based on qualifying results, Chris Brady and Thomas Kiley broke into the top 10, while Artem Shabanov topped the qualifying standing. Also showing strong results were Tariq Al-Shayhani and Ali Maqsid, while Ahmed Al-Amri and Ahmad Daham scored over 90 points and placed 3rd and 2nd in qualifying, respectively. As usual, the main action takes place on the main competition day during tandem battles, and qualifying distributed the drivers into very interesting matchups right from the top 32. This stage of the competition is usually characterized by battles between the strongest and weakest drivers of the top 32, but not this time. The newcomer team Time Up fought well in the first stage, but didn't reach beyond the top 8. On the new track, one of the team's driver became the winner of qualifying, but luck still did not always favor the team. After qualifying, all 4 team drivers ended up on the same side of the top 32 bracket, meaning that at best, only 2 of them could reach the semifinals if they won against the rest of the drivers on that side of the bracket. But that wasn't even the first problem. The qualifying winner Shabanov faced the lowest ranked driver of qualifying in the first top 32 battle. Unfortunately, Time Up's headliner suffered car issues immediately with both clutch and engine problems. The team instantly lost its strongest player. The second top 32 battle, also involving a Time Up driver, ended in a crash. Salimar Saraf applied too much pressure as the chaser on lead driver Lenny Schneider, leading to contact, while Schneider saved his car from hitting the concrete. Anyway, Schneider's Toyota had to be towed off the track. The blame for the crash was placed on Al-Saraf, allowing Schneider to advance to the top 16. It didn't take long to see the next Time Up driver, as they all clustered on the left side of the bracket. Tariq Al-Shayhani faced Kirill Matskevich. While Matskevich isn't the strongest driver in the team, he has a fast car and knows how to drive well as the leader. Almost immediately, Al-Shayhani got lost in the smoke after the first outer clip-in zone and had to compensate for this mistake throughout the rest of the run, which looked like an advantage to Matskevich and overshadowed his mistakes as the chaser. Still, the drivers were sent for one more time. In the one more time battle, Tariq Al-Shayhani left himself no room for transition and spun out, avoiding a crash. Matskevich moved into the top 16. And the fourth Time Up driver, Maxim Grossman, found himself facing the driver who had beaten him in the first stage and finished 4th in the entire competition afterwards, that driver was Benediktas Čirba. I believe Grossman made the right conclusions and prepared a strategy for competing against Čirba. Unfortunately, the Lithuanian driver failed to perfectly match the pace set by the time-up driver. Benediktas Čirba, who had strong results in the first stage, was eliminated in the top 32 of the second stage, allowing Maxim Grossman to advance to the top 16. Thus, 3 out of 4 time-up drivers made it to the top 16. Finally, the Irish drivers have seriously joined the race for the championship title. Thomas Kiley immediately took a hit on initiation from Ali Sajwani. Sajwani's Lexus completed the run while Kiley went into a technical timeout to check his car after the contact. An interesting fact is that although Sajwani completed the full run, it was his car that couldn't make it to the start for the second part of this battle, and Kiley advanced to the top 16 through a bye run. 2 more Irish drivers, Chris Brady and Harry Kerr, also managed to defeat their opponents in the top 32. However, I want to highlight the unique style of Irish drift cars. Whether it's Kiley, Brady or Kerr, each car is a work of art, looking stunning both stationary and in motion. Of course, most of the attention was on the championship leaders after the first stage. Clint Van Oort, Ahmed Al-Amri and Ali Maksid all fought hard, but managed to advance to the top 16. An interesting thing happened at the very end of the battle between Al-Amri and Bahouth. The driver in the Supra A90 put heavy pressure on the leader but lost control right after the finish and crashed the car into the concrete. It was a real shame, but Al-Amri advanced further through a bye run. And my personal disappointment of this race was Ahmad Daham's result. His new Toyota GR86 turned out to be one of the most beautiful drift cars based on this chassis, but unfortunately the car isn't allowing Ahmad to fully showcase his drifting skills on the track. Almost all practice sessions were spent searching for gremlins in the car, but in the top 32, Ahmed Daham stopped drifting in the middle of his run and his car was towed off the track. This is the second consecutive race where the top Middle Eastern driver is eliminated in the top 32. It's really unfortunate, and I'm looking forward to personally asking Ahmed what's going on with his car. I will definitely do that before the final this week. By the way, Daham's exit allowed Riyad Al-Mapsli to advance to the top 16. The top 16 was filled with extremely close and exciting drift battles. I highly recommend watching our only action version where you can see the race without breaks or pauses, just pure action-packed drifting. You can find it here via the hint. We won't dwell too much. On the left side of the bracket, I'll just say that Time Up lost another driver, leaving only 2 in the race to the top 8. On the right side of the bracket, there were several strong drivers at the start of the race. Ahmad Daham eliminated himself. By the top 16, only Ahmed Al-Amri and Clint Van Oort remained. But in his battle against Anatoly Sherbak, Clint Van Oort went off the track, making the biggest mistake of this battle. Another strong driver was eliminated from the right side of the bracket. Ahmed Al-Amri continued his battle for valuable championship points and advanced to the top 8. A curious battle took place between 2 Irish drivers, Brady and Kerr. All drivers are trying to get maximum grip from their cars. To achieve this, they play on the edge of minimal tire pressure, where the pressure in the tire is just 1 unit above that of a fully deflated tire. For each tire and car, this threshold varies, so the drivers try to find this perfect balance. It doesn't always work out, and in the battle between Brady and Kerr, the BMW driver's tire defeated, preventing him from finishing the run. The car returned to the technical zone. The tire was replaced, but in the warm-up area, the other tire just debated again, preventing Kerr from even making it to the start point. Thus, Chris Brady advanced to the top 8. By the top 8, Time Up was running out of drivers, and the bracket matched up the last 2 in a single battle. Schneider and Matskevich put on a great series of runs. The judges valued Leonid Schneider's aggression and precision higher and sent him to the semifinals. Ali Maksid had already seemed unusually lucky in the first stage, and the top 8 of the second stage confirmed this assumption. Thomas Cayley managed to pull away from Ali Maksid, while Ali made a clear mistake as the chaser and even lost a tire after contact. I was very surprised when Thomas Cayley didn't even appear at the start and Ali Maksid advanced through a by-run. Apparently, the condition of Maksid's car was not the best, as the Kuwaiti driver ended his by-run with contact against the concrete. Luckily, the crash was not severe. Left without any strong opponents in his side of the bracket, Anatoly Sherbak easily defeated Ali Al-Balushi. There was hope that Ahmed Al-Amri would stay in the race towards the semifinals, but he was defeated by Chris Brady, who took his spot in the top 4. As a result, out of the top 4 finishers from the first stage, only Ali Maksid made it to the top 4 in the second stage, significantly straightening his position in the race for the championship title. In the top 4, Ali Maksid's luck clashed with Leonid Schneider's aggression. Beautiful runs ended with aggression prevailing and Schneider advancing to the final. It seems that all the luck transferred to another driver, who was left without the strongest opponents in his side of the bracket. I believe Anatoly Sherbak would have liked to beat Chris Brady in a fair fight, but Brady's S15 went off the track and stopped the run almost immediately after initiation. Surprisingly, Brady had a great run as the chaser, while Sherbak barely kept one wheel on track to avoid getting a 0 as the lead driver, which saved him from one more time. Anatoly Sherbak reached the final, while Chris Brady had to battle Ali Maksid for the last podium spot and a chance to fight for third place. Possibly, the drivers were exhausted by the battle for the third place, but Ali Maksid made a major correction near the 5th outer clipping point, while Chris Brady had a very poor entry into the first outer clipping zone, almost making a correction close to straightening. As usual, the decision for this run, as well as for the final, was announced only on the podium. As for the final, it seemed very clear to me. At this stage, Leonid Schneider could earn the title of luck breaker, as he first stopped the fortunate Ali Maksid and then had a clear advantage over the super lucky Anatoly Sherbak in the final. Podium for Oman class, 3rd place Riyad Al-Mabsli, 2nd place Ali Al-Balushi, 1st place Ahmed Al-Amri. Podium for MENA class, 3rd place Ali Al-Balushi, 2nd place Ahmed Al-Amri, 1st place Ali Maksid. Podium for international class, 3rd place, once again the lucky Ali Maksid, further extending his lead in the race for the championship title. 2nd place, Anatoly Sherbak, winner of the stage, Leonid Schneider. And by the way, Haitham Al-Hadidi didn't even show up at the event, which is very strange. Did the Omani stick really mess up Haitham's car that badly? Ladies and gentlemen, that was the second stage of OIDC 2025, hosted for the first time in Sahar. In the description, there's a link to the only action version of the second stage. I really ask you to push the like button under this video and share the link in your social media, as this greatly helps promote our content. I'm flying to Oman to watch the final in Sahar with my own eyes. During my stay, I will talk to the drivers and make some short interviews. What should I ask drivers? Leave your questions in the comment section below. My name is Grinya and I'll see you in the next videos. Cheers!